All right, thanks for your thoughts, guys. It's time to get into the next game of the Rocket League Championship Series here as we continue with league play for the European region. With the commentary of this next match, it's going to be Wave Punk and Findable Carpet. Take it away, guys.
Thanks so much, Axel Toss. Northern Gaming versus Resonant Esports. We just saw Resonant Esports struggling on the defense, and Northern Gaming, a team that is known for their dynamic duo, the power offense core of Remco versus Maestro. This is a situation where Resonance needs to figure out what they're going to do on defense quickly.
I mean, if Northern Gaming comes in with the full power, they are just going to slowly pick apart Resonance defense until they just probably, I mean, I imagine we'd see some high-scoring games at this point. We're going to start seeing 3-0s, 4-0s, 5-1s, 5-2s, because Northern Gaming, especially now that they have Devo as that third man, all of them are just an absolute menace on offense, so much accuracy. But so far these last 2 days, between yesterday and today, really inaccuracy has plagued everybody. We've seen a lot of players with this uncharacteristic shots towards the crossbar and the post when it was like quote-unquote open. Yeah, they may have been kind of difficult shots, but I mean, these are pros.
For sure, but the one thing we did see from Resonant Esports in the last match was a formidable offense of their own. If they can get the ball into Northern Gaming's territory and they can keep it there, they have a very decent shot of making this a very competitive match. If they allow Northern Gaming to just have their way in the Resonant Esports half, it's going to be lights out. So let's see what happens. Resonant Esports in the blue, Northern Gaming in the orange. We'll get game number one underway, and right away, the offense for Resonant strikes.
Kickoff is always a bit wonky. You never know who's going to have control, and this touch from Devo, not very intentional, I suppose. Probably wanted to go towards the corner, and Maestro couldn't follow it up, and Metzinaris from the corner.
Just as I was saying, if they're able to stay on offense, if they are able to play aggressive themselves and match the offense of Northern Gaming, we will have a game on our hands. Remco now with ball control, puts it onto the backboard. It gets it touched by a lot, but Devo comes in from the back. Trying to keep the pressure on a lot with the pass out to Magnus. The shot goes high, a lot up to finish it. Tries to drop it down, hits the crossbar, and then Remco blocks out the final shot from Metz. Magnus keeps that pressure on, and Devo will play it away. Now trying to come down. See if they can keep the offense going. Devo going to try and tip it high. It does not make contact, and a lot keeps that pressure on. Metz sets it out, a lot with another shot. It'll be blocked away to the side. Right now, Resonance, with all the ball control, doing exactly what they need to do to shut down Northern Gaming.
They don't want to allow Northern Gaming to feel comfortable. You do not want to let them spread out, and if you put enough pressure, Metzinaris will get his second goal of the game.
Puts it over to the side. You can see so many Northern Gaming players in that corner. One demoed, and the other two just sitting there. And leaves it open for Metz. That's a 2-0 lead now for Resonance.
This is exactly what you said. If they can keep up the pressure and force Northern Gaming onto defense, Northern Gaming's just itching to get out of their half. They want to take shots. They want to spread out and get the reads, cheat up for the shots.
There's an opportunity. Maestro should be able to tip that one in. Exactly. Beautiful angle. Had lots of time to work with. He knew it was an open net.
Lots of time or not, this is very impressive. I mean, take a look. He waits for the perfect moment to get it off the side of his car, even turns a bit. He jumps as well. So essentially the car got pushed down a bit by the ball, which let it keep a lower angle. If he'd stayed grounded, I think it could have popped up a little bit higher.
Just became exactly the plane he needed to become to angle that one in. And that's Northern Gaming, just showing off how deadly they are on offense. You give them any angle, and they're able to find it. To find the back of the net. Oh, a lot. We'll send that one downfield. Remco now. See Northern Gaming starting to apply pressure on offense. See how long it takes them to score here. Or if they will, if Resonant will be able to avoid it. Remco in the midfield. Able to push that one through. Metz now putting it back. Nice bullet dodge there by Resonant. A lot putting it high. Trying to set it out. Magnus in position, but not liking what he saw defensively. Devo, the nice push through Magnus in the midfield. Has it to the backboard. Two players in goal, but a little bit of confusion. Maestro's going to have a shot. Magnus blocks it away, but Devo's there with the follow. Magnus with the monster save. Oh my goodness, grounded and immediately got back up.
And will Alot be able to secure it? No, he misses. That would have been a fantastic way to use Magnus's save and turn it into an offensive opportunity.
And just to turn it into, just take that momentum, turn it right back around. Fantastic play there by Magnus on the defense. This was the other thing we pointed out. They needed to be able to tighten up the defense and not allow Maestro and Remco to have opportunities, but they're going to come in one more time. That one was very quick, and they tie up the game.
Goalie got tanked. Metzinaris tried, but Remco decided to screw the ball. I'm going for Metz. Took him out. Couldn't get it clear, and it left Magnus in a horrible place to save a shot from Maestro. Tied up now in the first game.
Remco to Maestro, the dynamic duo. Never someone you want to see in front of your net. So Remco gets the setup and the bump to give Maestro the opportunity to score. He's now scored twice in game number 1. We're right here at halftime, tied up at 2. What has been an exciting game number 1. Devo in the air, tries to take a shot. He goes wide. The follow-up be there. Remco lofts it high a lot, saves the shot. And he'll be able to pass over to Magnus. Tries to put it up onto the corner. Maestro pass, carries it through towards the goal. A lot with the save. Now Remco. More pressure. Remco to Maestro, interrupted by Magnus. Now Devo out to Remco again. Puts it back in his own corner, back passing to Devo, and then ends up picking it up himself. Try and carry this one along. Nice pinch on the ground, put it underneath Metz. Be Devo onto the midfield. Magnus uncontested will be able to take a shot towards the net. Slammed down by Maestro, and then Remco carries it past Metz to Devo. Can Remco finish this one off? It's just a lot in the back. It'll bounce off the corner. Magnus puts it up on the wall. Maestro got bumped. Still nearly made contact. 1:30 left to go. Magnus with a run towards the goal. It'll be Devo who sends it away. And Remco will send this one onto the backboard. Can he finish this one off all by himself? A lot with the block. Excellent positioning from the defender. We're staying tied up here.
Both teams, I'm enjoying the control, trying to set the pace themselves. The moment they have control of a ball, the moment they're able to slow it down or bring it to a teammate, or maybe speed it up, they're really ramping it up and slowing it down the moments they need, and they're doing a great job on both sides of the field.
Maestro with a nice slow play to get it past a lot. He's on the wall, has lost ball control, but he'll send it over to Devo. They try to take the shot, but interrupted by Magnus, and now a lot takes the long clear downfield towards the goal. Magnus with another shot into the box. Cleared away by Maestro. Final minute of gameplay. Still tied up at 2 apiece. Devo in the corner will try to set this one out for his teammates. Has it past 1. A lot puts it into the corner, back to the teammate on the wall. Nobody in net right now as Remco takes a shot towards the net. Magnus with an excellent touch. The ball was going to bounce out right to Maestro to take the shot, but Magnus interrupts. Final 30 seconds of game number 1, and it's tied up at 2 apiece. At this point, next goal most likely wins.
Resonant needs to be careful. A lot of their touches on defense sometimes right back into possession of Northern Gaming, but Northern Gaming is struggling right now to make opportunities that may be given their way.
Oh, Metzinaris with an opportunity. Remco plays it away, Magnus in, but Remco gets it past a lot in the back, has to clear it out. They'll try to dribble this one around as the final countdown happens. They still have an opportunity, but nothing really materializing that is usable. Remco will play that one out, nobody in position. We'll hit overtime in game number 1.
If this is foreshadowing the rest of the series, I suspect it will be close. A little bit low scoring considering, but it seems that Resonance really have ramped up their presence on the field, not letting any gaps for Northern Gaming to take advantage.
Great positioning here by Magnus. Just sitting behind the ball, and Devo knows he can't push it through, but Devo to Remco. You pair them up here, you get the pass plays going, and that's Northern Gaming with the win.
Immediate, and this dribble from Devo, he pushed it through and forced Metzinaris to get that contest. Now the way Devo positioned his car, the 50-50 had to go somewhat in his favor. He bodied that ball to make sure that it was going to pinch, and it wasn't going to go behind him because he kept the long side of his car, the larger side, in between the ball and where Metz was trying to push it. So he knew it would go relatively in his favor, and it went about as well as it could in his favor. Centered it right up for it, and no one could get that. Northern Gaming taking the first game in overtime.
Taking the first game in overtime, but I was very impressed with Resonant Esports. I saw the defense was what I felt was lacking in the last series, and they definitely stepped it up. 11 shots came out from Northern Gaming, and then there was 6 saves here from Magnus and a lot to keep that game very, very competitive down to the wire. It went to overtime, and they had the lead early on. So it was good to see them coming out and being aggressive. We just need to be able to see them get that back into high gear because Northern Gaming did ramp up very quickly to match their pace.
And Northern Gaming had nearly double the shots, 11 shots to 6 on the side of Resonant Esports, and that kind of tries to explain a few things. Generally, Northern Gaming probably had more control, but that means Resonant had tight defense. They were doing a good job of pushing the shots to the outside. Northern Gaming didn't seem to be plagued by the inaccuracy that we've seen a lot of today, but a little bit. I mean, 11 shots, not all those were saves. I'm sure some of them were just a bit off target. But Resonant still keeping that to a 1-point game in overtime, even though they got outshot by almost twofold. It's pretty good for them.
I was so impressed by that defensive play from Magnus, where we see him get the save, and then he's loose in the top of the goal, falls back down, grounds himself, jumps back up, and gets a second save. Usually, in that situation, the second shot is going to go in. Just it's so difficult to manage to keep your wherewithal on the goal for 2 different saves like that. So fantastic stuff from Magnus, keeping his team competitive. See if he can do it again here in game number 2, as Resonant will look to bounce back and tie up the series at a game apiece. But right now, Northern Gaming has the early offensive pressure. Devo gets that one underneath Magnus, passes towards the goal. A lot will move in from the corner. And it'll be a Remco to wrap it around. Metzenarius meets him on the wall. Ball still spending time in this blue corner of Resonant Esports. Maestro trying to slow this one down. Can he dribble it past a lot? A lot just sits there, says, I know you have to go through me, and does not allow that one into his net. We still see Resonant Esports on the defense. Doing a good job holding him off, but Maestro almost has the double tap above the goal. It'll play away. Remco, though, keeps that pressure on at the midfield. So we're starting to see Resonance try to press out. A miss from Devo will give an opportunity a lot now on the other end of the field. Had a shot opportunity. Maestro gains ball control back. Oh, what is Devo doing there? Devo was on the back wall, like dueling with Magnus, and the ball's just going to roll all the way to the other end. Luckily for Northern Gaming, it was not on target. But interesting start here. First minute come and gone quietly.
I have no idea what's going on from either side. Both just kind of giving up possession, weird stuff happening. Devo, for some reason, finds himself on the wrong side of the field, like he's playing for Resonant.
3:41 left to go. I mean, maybe. He just wants to be on blue team.
Whoa!
So Remco finds the upper 90 on the far post. Excellent placement. It's going to put Northern Gaming up.
There is one thing Northern Gaming won't miss, and it's just the simple shots. I mean, using that bounce as well. He knows what it takes to get that to the crossbar from the angle that he had, so he takes the bounce shot instead of just going for the direct, which would have probably been more of like a little weak dribble ground roll.
Sure.
So he goes for the execution. They don't miss those.
And so far, like you said, we've seen a lot of inaccuracy during this week of league play. So far, Northern Gaming has seemed on point. Their shots have been as good as we are used to them being. Nice pass from a lot to Metzenarius as they move this one down the field. It's in the orange corner with Devo. Remco will come out of goal, be able to move up, try to pass to Devo, who I believe expected the pass to go a little bit differently and did not position himself correctly. But Remco still doing everything he needs to on the defense. He's drawn out Metz. Now Maestro and Devo can push up on midfield on the far side. Be a lot to Metzenarius. Excellent pass play. The shot on net goes a bit high. The follow-up is here so far, though. They're keeping the pressure on. Remco, is he going to beat a lot? He will. He reads this one better. Sends that one underneath, and now Devo in the blue corner, trying to loft it in front of the goal. Magnus will play it above. No final shot comes through from Maestro. Remco in the midfield. These long-range reads from Remco. Big part of what is keeping Northern Gaming in this ball control game. Game number 2. Right now they hold the lead 1-0. They also hold the 1-0 lead in the series.
I can't really pinpoint who's really setting the pace. Oh!
They missed the ball on the wall, and Metzenarius ties it up.
If anyone should know how threatening a backboard bounce is, it should be Remco and Maestro. They used to be the kings of it back in Weedham Girls days, but that time Maestro trying to come up for it, getting the read of Metzenarius. In his head, he just trying to see right through him. Don't read your opponent, just read the ball, follow it through. Best case scenario, that happens.
Best case scenario, they both miss, and they do. Metzenarius, the beautiful shot, puts it in, ties up the game here for Resonant. A lot going to try and shoot, goes wide. Metzenarius keeping the pressure on. Maestro and Devo both on the back wall right now. Devo will fall back down, leaving Remco in net. He'll pop up and block that slow shot. The bump on Metz opens up a lot of space here. Maestro wanted to move up, and a lot gets the back pass in time to keep ball control away. But Maestro, what a read. Knowing where that was going to be, keeping this pressure on. Devo misses in the air. That opens up some space for Resonant. With 1:45 left to go, it's all tied up here in game number 2.
Earlier today, we saw quite a lot of physical play, but both of these teams really just trying to outplay each other, using the ball. Not a lot of bumps, an occasional one. We did just see Maestro try and snipe someone straight out of the air, but there have yet to been a single demolition here in this series.
Devo in the air, onto the backboard. A lot gets the second touch off the wall. And Metz comes from the side to save that upper 90 shot from Remco. But the pass out to Maestro. The shot goes just wide of the post. Devo, can he get the angle? It goes off the post. No, Magnus. Oh, dear. Remco will punish as he wasn't able to get the clear. Such a quick read from Remco's Northern Gaming gains the lead.
They must have been so frustrated if that hadn't have gone in. A Maestro first with the post, Devo with the other post. Just trying to give love to both, you know? If you're going to hit one post, the other one feels a little left out.
Yeah.
Northern Gaming's like, we'll hit that one too, and then we'll score.
Well, and there's the we've been talking about, you know, how Northern Gaming has been pretty accurate and stuff. There's a few post hits, but they still managed to get the goal as Magnus wasn't really able to clear that one appropriately. And now Northern Gaming has the lead in game 2 in the final minute. Metz is going to try and tie it up here with the fall, but Maestro clears it away. Devo on the backboard will be able to push that one out. Metz immediately puts it back in, bouncing it off a lot. Too far upfield, not able to make the finishing shot.
That just shows how key positioning can be. Had a lot been just a few card lengths backwards, he would have had a pure shot at that. Maestro was not able to get that block.
Look at that setup from Devo. Maestro in to try and shoot. Blocked away by the defense of Resonant. Only a 1-goal game right now. Resonant easily can come back into this. 20 seconds left, though. They're running out of time, and the ball is deep in their territory. Remco on the backboard again. A lot to push it out. Devo to try and stop it at the midfield, but a lot keeps pressuring up. He's got it on the backboard. Magnus with a shot opportunity. Maestro blocks it, but Metzenari is also in the air. Again off the backboard and blocked by Maestro once more. It goes out into the field, and we've hit the final second. If it touches the ground, it's over, and there's not really solid positioning from Resonance to move this downfield. They're going to be able to bounce it around the corner wildly, but there's the clear from Metz. Can a lot get a touch on this? Nope. It'll touch the ground, and Northern Gaming has 2 games under the books.
I expected these to be higher scored games, and I'm really happy with how Resonant has been playing in general against a team like Northern Gaming. A couple of the opportunities that they've made and shut down as well. But Northern Gaming seems to be going for a lot of backboard touches, a lot of hits around the corner, which are usually answered pretty well, especially now as far as, like, if I can call it a meta is concerned.
Sure.
Everyone can deal with those at this point, and everyone almost positions themselves to handle that. You almost always see somebody just sitting on the backboard waiting, sticking to the wall, moving around a lot, because the moment you stop moving, you just sadly slide down the wall.
Yeah.
And there's no control.
Yeah, no, and this was similar to game number 1, but just a few things more exacerbated. 12 shots from Northern Gaming and holding Resonance to only 3. As we said in the beginning, Resonance has to be able to match the offense. They have to be able to have ball control in Northern Gaming's territory to have a shot at winning the series. Right now, they're down by 2. They're going to have to reverse sweep if they want to pull it off.
Yep.
And Northern Gaming is just looking better and better as this series goes on.
Yeah, I mean, they are kind of ramping into what we normally see. They came in a little bit cold while Resonant had last loss. You know, that's always going to play a bit of a factor. As much as you really don't want to say it does, especially here when we're analyzing games, losing a series, I mean, it's always going to somewhat affect the next series. Understanding that they have to get past that, like, all right, you know what, we lost it. Especially now that we're getting closer to the end, and we're getting closer to, I mean, next week is the final week of league play. It is the last time we get to see these teams go head-to-head and see where everybody finally stands. And Resonant, as one of the teams that's kind of trying to run away from those bottom 2 spots, is starting to feel the pressure.
You know, I'm pretty sure it's actually, like, against safety regulations for them to be playing this game with the amount of lightning that's happening around them right now.
Oh.
Like, this storm, of all the stormy maps, this storm is, like considerably worse.
I mean, aren't you safe in your car? Isn't that like...
Maybe because they're in cars, it's actually totally okay. Never mind, play on. Don't worry about the fans. They're fine. They'll be okay. Game number 3 underway. Can Northern Gaming get the sweep over Resonance? Or Resonant be able to bounce back? They'll need to do it in a reverse sweep if they want to take the win here. Maestro with the pressure. The first shot and then the follow-up after the clear straight downfield. Devo to pass out. Maestro misses Metz and a lot, moving downfield quickly, but Remco comes in, sweeps it out, back into the corner. Now the ball at midfield. Maestro uncontested, gets it off the backboard. A lot. Gonna pop this one at midfield. Remco, that ball locked in a dangerous position. Maestro going for the slow read, but Magnus is there as well to clear it away. A lot will pop it up. Now Devo in to take a shot. This pressure from Northern Gaming, this is exactly what will kill Resonant.
Yeah, and eventually they're just going to run out of boost. I mean, you're going to see Devo right now steal that back right.
Oh, man.
But the trap from a lot will just... Oh, Maestro had no clue.
I said it was going to kill him, but then managed to drop it straight down in the middle, and there's nobody in the back. And what a beautiful trap. Like you said, Maestro had the read, but a lot changed it up. Kept it on the ground, just dribbles it straight in.
I mean, being last man on defense, you can't go for that. No matter how well you think you're about to read your opponent, He's the one that has control. He's the one that's going to set the pace, and he's the one that's going to control it. As last man on defense, you just want to buy time, make him slow it, try and out-dribble you, and you can read that, hopefully.
They were able to break out of the offensive rotation of Northern Gaming, and now they have the lead. Maestro to try and drop it back to midfield. Remco, pop it, Devo to follow. Gets it through into the blue corner. Maestro already waiting. Gets the boost steal and falls back. Remco to try. Set this one out. Maestro, some rough touches there in the corner. That'll give Resonant space to move up, get it into the box. But Remco pops it high, removes the shot from Magnus's arsenal. Now Remco to try and pop it away a lot with the read. Back into the corner. Magnus trying to move up, but slams the brakes, falls back. Realizing it won't be his shot opportunity. He's going to try and make it for Metz here, though, as he's trying to move in. Maestro will play it away. The demo onto Magnus will send him back. Make it actually a little bit more difficult for Northern Gaming to move upfield. But they do so anyways. They've got it onto the backboard.
Seems that Northern Gaming was kind of deliberate in taking their time, making sure that when they did finally push it out, they had control. And now we're probably going to see them turn it right back around on them and start taking lots of shots.
Remco, play that one over the top of two. Magnus in the back will be able to clear it up. But Remco with the read on the wall, forcing Metz in a lot to fall back quickly. Remco to try to drop this one down towards Maestro. He's slowing it down to the midfield, but a lot just tackles it through, sends it towards the backboard. Devo on the back line will clear to the side. And there's Magnus in the air through two defenders. The pass from Metz was on point. That's 2-goal lead now for Resonant.
This really was a fantastic pass off that perfect little corner between the corner and the back wall, and Remco really undecided for a moment if he should go for that or if another teammate was going to be closer. And unanswered. Now only 2 minutes and 17 seconds left to try and tie this up, being down 2 goals.
As the difficulty of having two defenders in the box is you have to take the splittest of seconds to decide who's going up and who's staying on the ground, and sometimes that is just enough to completely miss. Resonant now with the lead. A demo into Remco and net would open up some space, but Maestro had ball control. He was able to put it away from his own net. 1:55 left to go. Resonant holding on to the lead right now. If they can hold on to this, we'll go to game 4. They drop this game here, they will be swept by Northern Gaming. Maestro tries to dribble this one up. They've got 1:43 left to go to score 2 to tie it all back up. And that touch from Maestro will pinch all the way into the blue, just rolling along. Maestro trying to set this up to Remco. This is an interesting situation. Remco actually fell back. He'll get the save. There's Devo to Maestro. Right now, so far, Resonant has been winning a lot of the 50-50s. That gives them the ball control they need, this aggression that they need to have to take it to Northern Gaming. It's working out for them right now. Northern Gaming starting to pressure in, see if they can get a goal here. They're going to take a shot a lot with the defense. Getting a save. Magnus will pop it up high. Metz to follow. Devo in the air, does not get the read. Metz gets it past him, also past Maestro on the wall, but Remco immediately back onto the backboard. Can he finish this off himself? The pass to himself off the vertices, and that is Northern Gaming on the board.
As well as these go in favor of whoever passes straight down, they are so incredibly hard to read. And the fact, I think Remco, he's like, if this is going down, I'm just going to fly towards it. I'm just going to boost as fast as I can. And it seems like for a while there, Northern Gaming kept giving up possession, especially on defense. They were just throwing it away, trying to half clear it, and it kept getting contested. But finally, when they were able to push it in the half of Resonant, they kept control long enough. But with 46 seconds left, can they tie it up?
I believe they have all the tools they need to. Right now, they've got some decent positioning, decent ball positioning. So far, the touches are, I don't know, they're kind of all turned around backwards right now. This is not the position you want to move upwards with. Maestro with a nice stop there. Can he and Devo move upwards? Remco going for the boost steal. The cherry pick, possibly. That demo into Devo will open up some space for Maestro to move upwards, but they've only got 20 seconds left to work with. Devo now in the air, trying to carry it all the way through. Metz will play it to the side, into the corner. But Remco there, keeping this pressure on. This is what Northern Gaming does best. Can they do it? It pinches across the field towards Devo. The shot towards the backboard. What a play. Remco to try and drop it down. He misses, but Devo, oh, and it goes off too far. Past Maestro and Devo, and now it's in the back corner. This will be a much more difficult tie. They're able to pull it off. Remco to carry it onto the wall. Gets it all the way there. Maestro's in position. The pass outwards. But it goes too far. Very difficult play. And Resonant takes the win in Game 3. We'll go to Game 4.
I think that last backboard touch from Remco was actually just horrendously unfortunate. I think he actually did get a touch, and it had this really interesting interaction where it pinched off the back wall. It was hard to tell, but it seemed like it had a lot more power than it came in with. As it peered back. He had a great idea, though. He wanted to drop it down, but Resonant really taking control of that. And Northern Gaming, I don't know, like, I wasn't a big fan of the way they were contesting some of the balls.
Sure.
There were a few times where, like, they knew that someone from Resonant was going to come contest it, and they're like, I bet you if I hit it high enough, he'll whiff it past.
Sure.
And the guy just, it's an easy predict, like, where's he going to hit it?
Right.
So he'd get, the player from Resonant will always get the second touch. They're delaying it. They'll jump up, and they'll hit him, and then they'll just counter clear. So it's like either make it a slower hit so the clear's not as bad, or push it to the side because you know that's harder to read, or something of that nature. There were a lot of those.
Like you saw in the beginning with the first goal a lot scored. You saw Maestro already in the air for the read because he thought he would just pop it up, and no, he grounds it instead and just goes straight underneath the last defender. Exactly those sorts of decisions. And I felt like, man, it was brilliant watching the way they set up that final play, that final drive with Maestro on the wall, pinching it over to Devo, who was already on the other side. And I was like, this is a good, interesting pinch there, and Devo was clearly ready for it. But then Remco, like you said, is not able to get it out. It went past both of his teammates. They're not able to put that one in. And Resonance will take the win in Game 3. We'll go to Game 4. We'll see if Northern Gaming is able to put it away here. Will we go to a Game 5? What do you think?
I'm hoping for a Game 5 because, hey, Game 5s and reverse sweeps are kind of my thing. But I can't predict them anymore. I've kind of banned myself from it.
And don't want to get people's hopes up, including your own. Magnus will drop that one down to a lot. Here comes Resonance with the aggression we need. They get a demo to Maestro in his own corner. One of the best places to get a demo. Very, very deep in enemy territory. The only place maybe better is just in their own net. But Devo now carrying this one all the way down the field. A lot on the wall, the spider defense to push it away. Now Remco up to Devo. Can they connect here? They make the touch they need, but it does not go into the net. They make contact with each other. Remco in the back will have to clear away. The clear from a Resonant. First minute again coming and going pretty quietly here in game number 4 as Resonance looks to send us to Game 5. They'll bounce around. A lot will let that one come off the wall. Oh dear, is that going in? Oh my goodness, bounces off the crossbar, but goes out. Close one there for Northern Gaming as Remco slows this one down, tries to move it up.
I mean, right now I've counted about 5 possession. They just give it up. Like Northern Gaming, they've been just hitting it out. No one's been following it up. They're about one step behind, trying to predict, but they're getting smothered on defense, so they're not able to get their defense and get their boost, I should say, to follow it through. So they're just they're hitting it out of safety, but then just giving it right back to Resonant.
Devo will try to push this one out. Maestro did get the midfield boost. That'll give them a little bit of power to move outwards. Remco with an opportunity to finish it off all by himself, but does not pull it off. Devo and Maestro in the midfield having to deal with Metanarius being a bully. As Magnus tries to pop this one over the top. A good touch from Maestro to take that one away and send it away from his net. As Remco, and just to get it all the way back into the blue corner. They're flying down the field. Their transitions are fast, but they're not so fast. Though they're too fast, they're not able to kind of have the follow-up positioning they need to maintain that ball control in the blue. That's what sees them just conceding control every time they start to get it out of their own half.
Yeah, I mean, watch. Remco's going to hit this out. This time he might actually be able to follow it through, but there was no one to follow that up. If he didn't get a good touch on that, then that, again, would have been given up possession.
It was fast. It was fast down the wall, but it just wrapped around the corner, and then the defender just clears it right back away.
Yeah.
And right now, you can see it again. Former team Secrecy, Resonant Esports, going to be able to get a goal there. Magnus just finishing off. Maestro grounded in net. Just watch this go in.
I mean, he couldn't react to the first one. It was just too high, and he knew he couldn't beat Magnus following it out. So he had to hope for 2 things. Either Magnus missed or put it down closer for him to do. Well, it looked bad, like Maestro just stayed there. Honestly, no decision was good for him in that situation.
This is a situation you just want to avoid being in altogether. And this is what we said. Resonance has to play offensively. They have to be aggressive. They have to take Northern Gaming's game to them. And that's what they are doing right now. Right here at halftime, they have the 1-goal lead. A win here sends us to Game 5. Maestro with a nice fake, the double fake. It doesn't get around a lot as much as it got around the first player, but Metanarius in the back will be able to clear it away. And Devo will drop this one in the midfield. Remco not moving out to challenge. This is some good positioning from Resonance, but there he goes. Devo with the shot. Oh, blocked away by Magnus, sent high above the goal. And Maestro now in to try and push it out, or push it in. Metanarius. Ball control, slowing this one down, going for the 1v1 plays. Maestro will clear it away. Good tackle from Devo, giving the ball to Maestro. And here comes Northern Gaming. Can they put this one together? A lot with the hard clear, and right away, Resonance is gaining ball control again, winning the clear battle. It's Magnus with a nice redirect, going above the goal. Not on target, but in the right direction. He gets bumped. This will give some space. 1v2. Remco plays it past a lot, but nothing on target just yet. Devo with the pinch. A nice one. Oh dear, so close to the own goal. It'll finally go in as Devo ties it up. Fantastic transition downwards. They finally had the follow-up they needed.
Devo was all over this. As soon as it came back out, he jumped up off the wall to get just enough momentum to push that ball back in, doing the solo play. I mean, when you realize your team is struggling to work together and to click together, just do what you can. Pull out all the mechanics you have. Do the solo play. And Devo there to rescue his team from the loss. They are now tied up.
And I believe Remco was waiting right there in front of the box to finish it off if he had missed that play. So the clutch solo plays from Devo have Northern Gaming tied up right now in this game, looking to finish it off here in Game 4. Resonant fighting for that Game 5. Devo traps this one right in front of his net. Dribbles it away from Metz, but he still tackles. Nice read from Metz. Now it'll be Maestro in the corner. Pass Magnus. A lot with the 50-50. Slows this one down. Magnus will buy some time as well and turn it around on the wall. Solo plays. The solo transition from Magnus. Keeping this ball deep in the orange right now. Final 30 seconds approaching. All tied up at 1 apiece. We had an overtime in game number 1. And a lot with another shot. To see if they can try and put this one away right now in regulation. Northern Gaming wanting to respond as well. A goal right now would all but secure the win. For Northern Gaming, it would end the series. 15 seconds left on the clock. They have the ball in Resonance territory. Keeping that midfield defense, starting to back down. Devo to try and fake out a lot. Does not work, but there's the screen from Remco. Maestro will set it up on the backboard. Remco in to shoot, but he misses the shot. No defender was in a good position to block it. And that one will probably go to overtime here. Tough one there for Northern Gaming as they missed that one.
He saw a defender floating and he got a bit too freaked out. Tried to place it around him, but at that shot, when you know they're just pre-jumping, you kind of have control. Probably just put it down. He would have had a really weak touch anyway. Somebody potentially could have followed up for a second shot, but early on kickoffs where we've seen a lot of these overtime goals, let's see how long this takes.
Oh, Devo trying to move down the field, be a hero again. It's kind of widened out the rotation on defense. Maestro has to get the hard clear. Moves up now. Remco upfield with a pass towards the goal. Magnus will clear it away. He's going to play this one on the wall. Remco looks for the read. He can't get all of it. Manages to take away ball control. And Devo with the transition. Can he set this one up for Maestro? Maybe Remco actually moving up the field earlier. Wrap it through. Now Maestro with a shot towards the net. Very, very close. Maestro with a follow-up. Can he get it for Devo? Who's trying to set it out for Remco. They have an opportunity. They lost the touches that would have set it up for the final shot. And Magnus will play this one over the top of Devo, going for the air drag. Maestro will take it away over to the side. Final first minute of overtime. Coming and going so far. Metz, can he get the block? He does, but Maestro in to try and take the final shot. It goes wide. Metz and Magnus in the corner together. Devo plays it over the top of one, right onto the hood of Metz. But Remco into the middle. This could be dangerous if Maestro can get up to it. He stays down, lets a lot take the hit. Now Devo with the loft downfield. I believe Maestro's probably low on boost right now. Struggling to go up for that, but Remco going to try and mind game a lot just plays it to the side instead. Nullifying the situation. So close right now as both these teams with so many opportunities to score, but both defenses holding on and rotating as they need to eliminate those opportunities.
4th touch in a row, Northern Gaming again just giving up possession. Luckily, no threatening shots coming in on the side of Resonant, so they're doing a good job of just defending, and they're going to continue to push back until they get a shot.
Magnus with the block. Remco on the wall here. Look to back pass to Maestro. He'll just leave it and let Maestro move up over the top of Magnus. Now Devo on the side to put it over the wall. A lot makes contact. Always the king of the 50-50s here. A lot. He's just, I don't think I've seen him whiff once this series. He is always making contact when he's trying to get up. Not always necessarily on target, but he is making contact. Maestro over to the side. A lot to wrap this one around. Remco right there. Back onto the backboard. Magnus makes contact as well to put it back out to midfield, and a lot still making contact on that 50-50. Devo to try and pass back the screen for Maestro. It goes out into the middle. Remco watching this one. Plays it past Magnus in the air. Devo looking for an opportunity, cannot read a lot's touch, and Metz will pass back to Magnus. An opportunity here for Resonance as they take the shot. Maestro was back in goal. Excellent position from Maestro, realizing the positioning that was there for Resonance, and here comes the counterattack. Remco, can he get it off the backboard? It's not there, but the follow-up, Maestro puts it in, and Northern Gaming takes the win.
Maestro just following it through, and both teams just drive after drive, trading it back and forth. Magnus unable to get it, forcing Metz to try and come out. And Maestro, same thing from earlier, just try to ignore the defender, just put it on target. At worst case scenario, he might save it and it will push it to the side. Maybe you can drive it through him, but in that case, Metz did not make contact. And Northern Gaming will take the series 3-1.
They take the series. It was finally kind of a break in the defense. Admittedly, a very difficult situation for Resonance as that speed. We talked about it the entire game. The transition speed for Northern Gaming was on point. The way that they got the ball back down the field was so fast the entire game, but usually they were doing it on the wall and wrapping it around the corner, which is much easier for a defender to deal with. This was coming straight down the middle, and Magnus had to get the touch on the wall. He misses it. The rebound is right there for Maestro. He sinks it in, and that's game over.
I mean, a lot of patience from Northern Gaming. They were giving up possession a lot, sometimes slightly intentional, it seemed, so they could slowly build up more and more boost, not allow them to steal it, because when you let it stay in your half is when they're going to take boost in the retreat.
For sure.
If you can get a hard clear, even if you give up possession, you can grab some pads here and there, kind of build up some more boost, and then you can get a good drive and counterattack. Sometimes it was a little bit threatening. They let too much go by, and I think if they can kind of iron out their defense, their rotations make that a little less scary. A couple of opportunities that Resonant were given was because Northern Gaming kept giving it up, but they look great either way.
Yeah, rough beginning here for Resonance in the beginning of their kind of backloaded schedules. They go 0-2 this week, but Northern Gaming starting off the week well with the win over Resonant, and they will have one more match in store for us today. But to talk more about this match and that next upcoming match, we'll send it back to the desk.
Thank you, Wavepunk and Bindable Carpet. Delightful commentary, as always, back here at the analyst desk. I'm Axel Tosh, joined by Gibbs and Shogun, and we just saw Northern Gaming with a nice, smooth 3-1 victory there over Resonant. But I gotta say, Resonant, I think, showing up in a pretty good way, showing a lot of skill. Honestly, in particular, that final overtime we just saw there. Very back and forth, very exciting. But Northern Gaming barely coming up with a win there, but able to take the series.
Yeah, Northern Gaming, huge game one for them. They go down 2-0 extremely quick, and we're like, uh-oh, this isn't great for them. But they win that in overtime, which is great to start off a series, is by coming back from 2 goals down.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of creativity being used in the way Northern Gaming were getting their goals. There was one thing we saw earlier on where Remco went for an incredible aerial demolish play. Didn't quite get it because he hit the player with the bottom side of his car, so didn't quite get the power from it. But it's a different part to Northern Gaming's gameplay that we don't usually get to see.
That game one overtime by Devo was great, though. He knew that the ball is not going to go through his car. He took it extremely slow and got the pass out with the 50-50 for Remco. And then, of course, they won both overtime games in this series, which, again, we always talk about. Like, if you can win those clutch games, that's the big difference maker throughout the whole series. And that was 2 of the 3 wins for Northern Gaming here.
That is going to do it for Resonant for the day. Unfortunately for them, they do finish 0-2, but there might be some light at the end of the tunnel because they still have a chance. Gibbs, you want to talk about playoff implications there, particularly for Resonant?
Sure. So with them, all they need is really 1 win at this point. Actually, with the Northern Gaming win, that actually knocks out Kaunos. Now, Kaunos has no chance to make playoffs. They needed actually to beat Northern and have Northern lose every other game for tie-breaking purposes because they can't beat Penta in the win percentage race. So Kaunos is done now. Resonant, they just need 1 win, and they will get it.
I guess we'll see if that can happen for them. And again, if you want to stay in tune with all the standings for both North America and Europe and the RLCS in general, your source is rlcs.gg. Very simple website. Otherwise, we have 1 match left here in the second to last week of the European region for league play. And we have Northern Gaming returning to the pitch. This time, they're going up against Kaunos. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the best Rocket League players and teams in the world here on twitch.tv/Rocket League. We'll see you in just a bit.